Fitzgerald explained why modern love feels empty, and he did it while being completely, catastrophically unable to fix his own. He wrote about longing and illusion and the specific grief of getting everything you wanted and feeling nothing when you arrived. He wrote it in 1925, from a life that was glamorous on the surface and quietly falling apart underneath, and he described with surgical accuracy the exact emotional texture of dating in 2026. The performance, the distance, the feeling that something real is always just out of reach, just across the water, just one more gesture away. The green light was never about Daisy. It was about you refreshing your messages. You know the feeling. Not heartbreak. Heartbreak is clean. Heartbreak has a cause. This is something murkier. This is being with someone and feeling vaguely, inexplicably alone. This is a relationship that looks perfect from the outside. The photos are good. The dates are good. The person is objectively good, and still feeling like you're waiting for something to start. Like the real version of this is happening somewhere slightly adjacent to where you actually are. Like you're performing a relationship rather than being in one, and you can't figure out when the performance began or whether there was ever anything underneath it. Fitzgerald lived inside that feeling his entire adult life, and instead of resolving it, he wrote it down so precisely that a century later it still feels like someone read your diary. Start with Gatsby because everyone knows Gatsby, and almost nobody has actually read it slowly enough to feel what it's really about. Jay Gatsby throws parties, enormous, legendary, spectacular parties, hundreds of people, lights blazing, music pouring out across the water every weekend, and Gatsby stands at the edge of every single one, alone, not really there, looking across the bay at a green light on Daisy Buchanan's dock. He has built his entire life around getting back to her. Not to her, actually. To the feeling he had 5 years ago when they were together. To the version of her that exists in his memory, cleaned up and perfected by time and distance, and the specific alchemy of wanting something you can't have. The real Daisy, complicated, careless, ultimately not worth the mythology, is almost incidental. Gatsby isn't in love with Daisy. He's in love with the idea of Daisy. He's in love with what she represents, proof that the life he built means something, that the distance he traveled was worth it, that he arrived. This is every relationship you've idealized before it began, the person you've been building in your head since the third text, the situationship you've narrativized into a love story before anyone said anything real. You're not falling for them, you're falling for the version of them that exists in the gap between who they are and who you need them to be. Gatsby invented Daisy. You've done this too. We've all done this. The green light is whatever you've been reaching toward that keeps being slightly more beautiful from a distance. And here is the part that stings. When Gatsby finally gets close, when Daisy is actually there in the room in his house looking at his shirts, it isn't enough. It can't be. Because the real thing can never compete with the imagined thing. The imagined thing has no flaws, no bad timing, no ordinary Tuesday mornings. The imagined thing is permanently, perfectly lit. Reality walks in and it's just a person who makes questionable choices and doesn't quite love you the way you needed her to and will, in the end, let you take the blame for something that was her fault. The emptiness isn't a failure of the relationship. It's what happens when you finally get what you wanted and discover the wanting was the whole point. Then there's Tender is the Night, the one Fitzgerald wrote later, when the glamour had worn off and he was watching his wife Zelda fall apart and his own life dissolve in slow motion. Dick and Nicole Diver, beautiful couple, charming, magnetic. Everyone at every party wants to be them or be near them. They are the performance of a great love done perfectly, and it is a performance. Dick is holding Nicole together through sheer force of his personality and his need to be needed, and he calls that love because it produces the same feelings love produces, at least from the outside. Nicole needs Dick because her world makes no sense without the structure he provides, and she calls that love because what else would you call the thing keeping you functional? They are not in love. They are codependent in the specific, beautifully dressed way that reads as devotion until the scaffolding comes down. and the scaffolding always comes down. This is the relationship that works until it doesn't, and when it doesn't, you realize you were never quite sure what it was working on. You were intimate without being known, present without being seen. You shared a life and somehow managed to be strangers inside it. The emptiness was there the whole time. You were just too busy maintaining the surface to go looking for it. Fitzgerald understood that modern love, and it was already modern in 1934, the machinery of it hasn't changed, often substitutes performance for presence. We are very good at the gestures, the anniversaries, the photos, the right things said at the right moments. We are less good at the part that happens when the gestures stop, and it's just two people in a room being exactly who they are with no audience and no script. That part is where most relationships either become real or reveal they were never quite real to begin with. Fitzgerald lived in that room with Zelda for years. He wrote about it with the kind of honesty that only comes from someone who couldn't look away from his own wreckage. The emptiness you feel in modern love isn't a you problem. It isn't a them problem. It's what happens when a culture teaches you to curate everything: your profile, your aesthetic, your personality, your relationship. And then you find yourself alone with someone in the quiet, and you don't know how to just be there without making it content. The green light was always the wrong thing to chase. The person standing right in front of you, messy and real and completely uncurated, was always the actual point. Fitzgerald knew that. He just couldn't stop reaching across the water long enough to live it. So, have you ever been in a relationship that looked right from the outside and felt hollow from the inside? And did you ever figure out whether the problem was the relationship or the way you'd been taught to want? Drop it in the comments. And if you want more Jazz Age novelists explaining why your love life feels like a beautiful, empty party, like this video, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.